What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Joseph, and welcome to Fiction in Flow. It is the end of Black History Month, and I want to close out the month with a couple of book recommendations that I think you will really like. So I got a few books I want to share with you all, and I want you to dive right in and tell me what you think. All right, first book on the list is called Wakanda Forever, The Courage to Dream by Frederick Joseph and Nicholas Smith. This was a Target exclusive. And you may have heard of the name Nicholas Smith earlier on this month, as he did a lot of things for Target with an exclusive line featuring books, Funko Pops, and clothing that all have the theme for Black History with Marvel. It's a nice collabo. So this book right here is a really good one. It's considered a children's book in a picture format, but it has a really good message. It's about a young girl who is growing up in Wakanda who has dreams and aspirations of being a Dora Milaje. What makes this book so interesting is that the young girl is disabled. She has a hover chair that she kind of goes around in, and kind of like replacing a wheelchair. And even though she is disabled, she has these big dreams. And so the book kind of goes through her story of like being inspired by the Dora Milaje, learning about them and their culture and their history, kind of being discouraged at some points, and then kind of eventually realizing that she is the best person she can be no matter what. I would highly recommend this book for children or even adults, anywhere in between. But the visual imagery is just stunning and beautiful. I love Nicholas Smith art, and I'm going to show you a few pages in the book that just really stand out to me. But it's, of course, the very first page. His imagery is so on point, so good. I love his like sketch type of style. And you may remember Nicholas Smith's work a couple of years ago at Disneyland. They had this mural that was up dedicated to Chadwick Boseman, who played Black Panther, T'Challa. And it was a picture of him visiting a little kid in the hospital in the cancer ward. As some of you may have known, Chadwick Boseman passed away from prostate cancer himself. So he used to constantly visit these wards and surprise kids and do autographs, bring them gifts. So it's a picture of him doing the Wakanda Forever leaning down. And then there's a kid who has on the Black Panther mask and in a hospital gown, like in scrubs. And that picture became a mural, and it was outside of Disneyland for quite a while before they actually took it down. And that's how I first got exposed to Nicholas Smith's artwork. But he is a fantastic artist. I highly recommend him. And definitely get this book, Wakanda Forever, The Courage to Dream. It is wonderful. So that's the number one pick on my list. Okay, moving right along is another book kind of going in this whole Wakanda format. It's kind of what we're doing a lot of breakdown of today. This book, I have to say, is the ideal book about the Dora Milaje. It is basically a training manual of how to become a Dora Milaje. The book is called Protectors of Wakanda, a history and training manual of the Dora Milaje by Karama Horn. Here it is. If you ever wanted to know what the Dora Milaje went through in order to get that status, this is the book for you. This is a must read for those who really want to dive deeper and find out more about what they actually have to do as far as like spiritually training, mentally training, the food they eat, the armor they wear, the fighting styles. It is all in this book. I have not seen a book like this in quite some time, where they kind of give you a step-by-step of what a group has to go through in order to achieve their status. So I'm going to talk about a couple of things in the book that I've read so far. There are 6 main chapters to this book, and each one hits on a discipline of the Dora Milaje. The first one is about tradition and talks a little bit about the history of what happens in Wakanda and the Dora Milaje. The second chapter covers honor. So it tells you about some of the goals that they have set for themselves in order to be in this role. The third chapter is strength, and it talks about hand-to-hand combat, armory, weapon selection, and how they train themselves to be living weapons. The fourth chapter is about courage, and it kind of tells you how to train your mind, how to get over your fears, and how to have a warrior spirit. Chapter 5 is about compassion, because even though you think about all the things that they can do, it's also important to have compassion for your enemies as well. I like how this chapter is put in there because it shows that they're not just all gung-ho like military style warriors. It's about compassion as well. And you see some of that if you watch either Black Panther movie or the Wakanda Forever sequel, and you see there's parts when they do have compassion. It's not just all fighting and training to be, you know, military style soldiers. And the last chapter, which is one of my favorite, is the Dora Milaje initiation trials. So you kind of get to see what they go through, some of the rituals they go through, like in graduation day, what all is included when you finally are selected to be a Dora Milaje. So if you were ever interested in, once again, learning the process and the steps it takes to become Dora Milaje, I would highly recommend getting this book. I can even imagine some people getting this book and trying to become Dora Milaje in real life. Some little kids or some teens read this book because it's a good practice. Once again, definitely pick up this book. A while ago, Marvel put out this cookbook, kind of like Eat Your Way Through the Marvel Universe, and it kind of got all these nice recipes with Marvel themes, right? But this book is the official Wakandan cookbook. Yes, I'm talking about the delicacies you would see at like a marketplace or things they grow up eating around in Wakanda. And it is a great addition. If you are a cooker or a baker, and you just want to get into more of that mytho of the whole Wakandan lifestyle, this book is for you. I cannot wait to try to make some of these dishes. So it covers a little bit of everything. This is why I really love this book. So it's beautifully laid out. Nice hardback cover. I love how it has that purple in there. Of course, like that vibranium style that goes right with, along with the Black Panther theme. And this book has so many recipes in it. This book covers everything. But what I especially love is in the very beginning of the book, it has dietary restrictions. It tells you if things are vegetarian, gluten-free, vegan, and I love them for that. So like they're hitting everybody where they need to be. And it gives you this nice little breakdown of that. You can check it out right there. The book is broken down into several main sections. The first one is spices, sauces, and condiments. So they start off by letting you know some of the delicious spices you can make and some of the condiments you can use that go along with the dishes. Now, some of these things are like dipping sauces, so they're not necessarily have to be included with the dish. You can just have them on their own with some kind of chip, but I love them for doing this. The next section is the market food. So once again, these are foods you would find like in a typical marketplace. If you remember that scene from the first Black Panther movie where Black Panther and Nakia are like kind of walking through the marketplace, there are people selling things like a bazaar. It's like traditional African village type, you know, marketplace, and I love that part. These are like grab and go foods or snacks or some of the foods you can have, you know, for a little longer or when you take home. So I really enjoy this and I can't wait to try some of this stuff out. I am really interested in these lamb kebabs. I think that's the first one I'm gonna try. They look good, just look like they're right on the grill. And I love a good, well-cooked lamb. And I can just imagine this with one of these delicious sauces. I can just like, it's gonna take it. And I may actually cook something for you all. I won't actually cook it on the channel, but I'll have it prepared and then we'll do a live tasting. All right, that's not necessarily a promise, but I'm gonna try to get that done. The next section covers breakfast. So this granola dish looks delicious. I'm all about getting some of that healthy granola now instead of having to have a bigger full meal, but I'm really looking forward to trying this snack. Following up is the soups and salad section, and I have to tell you, this chilled watermelon soup looks so delicious. On a hot day, I can just imagine this and just dive right in. And I really want to try to make this dish as quickly as possible because I know this probably will be a winner, especially in these hot months coming up. Then we have your main dishes. These are like your sit-down family-style dinner dishes that I think will serve quite a few people. And I don't think this is something you take time to really prepare. You put some love into this. To me, this is the equivalent of soul food, kind of getting your Thanksgiving dinner going on. So these are something you don't make on the everyday. I think this is like a weekend kind of meal. And of course, you can't finish off any meal without having some dessert. This book has desserts, y'all. It's kind of taking you through the whole course dinner, right? So from like an appetizer all the way through to the dessert. So that's why I really love this book. Whereas the previous book kind of just had some dishes here and there. This is kind of taking you through like almost like a 7-course meal, right? Something you would get at like maybe a fine dining restaurant. But the final chapter, this is what I love about this book. The final chapter is the drinks, you all. It definitely has drinks in it. Now, all the drinks included are non-alcoholic, so that's a really good thing. However, I don't think it's impossible, especially for all you 21 and over viewers and adults there in the room. You can definitely probably add some alcohol to some of these drinks. The drinks look delicious and refreshing. They all seem cool, and I can't wait to try one of these. This may be actually the first thing I do to try to make one of these drinks, because that's probably the easiest out of all of them. Once again, if you are looking for something to kind of close out and kind of do some dishes with, or even plan for upcoming future or even for next year for Black History Month. You definitely want to get the official Wakandan cookbook. It is a must-have if any true Wakanda or Black Panther collector. Gotta have this book. All right, that brings us to our last book. This is a personal favorite of mine. I got turned on to this book last year at C2E2. I've been looking for the book for a couple of years, but it's kind of been hard for me to get it without getting it online. It started off as an independent comics, but then they put it finally in a graphic novel format. And this is Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer. Yes, you heard me right. Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer. It is a fantastic story by David Crownson, and it's about Harriet Tubman during the time of the Underground Railroad. Now, we all know her from having been the leader or quote-unquote conductor of the Underground Railroad by helping slaves escape from the South to the North for freedom. In this book, she is still doing that. However, there's this other mystery layer that's there, that some of the colonists and slave masters who were there were also vampires and demons. So Harriet Tubman, she is also a warrior. And I love this evolution of the character, or this fantasy of the character. It really gives her this superhero format, and she escorts one family in the book, and she really helps them out, and she talks about her history and how she learned how to become this warrior. It is a must read for any fan of like sci-fi, fiction, fantasy stuff, and I was totally engrossed by this book. So looking at it, the artwork is amazing. The storyline is just killer, and I read the whole volume in about 30 minutes. That's how deep I was into this book. Like, I wanted more. I had the pleasure of meeting David Crownson and having him sign my edition of Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer at C2E2. Check out this quick video. I'll be right back. All right, hello. I am here with David Crownson. He is the creator of Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer. I've been wanting this book for so long, and I was so happy when you announced that you were coming here to C2E2.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Right, so it is here. It is a beautiful book. It is amazing. You must get it. I highly recommend it. And some dope posters as well.
Yes.
All right, all under the Godhood Comics. Check them out. All right, that's what I was saying. That's pretty dope. After I met him at C2E2, he did give me one bit of information. I was like, I hope it will come true really soon. He said that his graphic novel is being looked at to turn into either a live action or animated show. And I was like, this is exactly what I need right now in my life. After seeing things like Lovecraft Country on HBO Max and other sci-fi things, I'm getting more into that, and this fits right along into their frame. So I can't wait to see a either live action or animated version of Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer. If you're looking for, once again, sci-fi fantasy, high action, a little bit of history, evolution of a historic figure that has been turned into like this comic book as superhero, this is the book for you. I highly recommend getting Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer. And here's the crazy part. He came to C2E2, which is a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday, I went to his booth, got his book, and by Friday evening, he had completely sold out. That's how popular this book is. So I guarantee, search it up now, go look for it. I will put a link in the description below. You must get Harriet Tubman, Demon Slayer. And by the way, C2E2 is right around the corner. It is March 31st through April 2nd. So hopefully David Crownson will be back at C2E2 and be able to get your book signed there if you are here in Chicago. If he comes, I will let you know. Definitely recommend getting that done. All right, so those have been my recommendations for Black History Month of these new books that I've been reading. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to give it a like, and also drop a comment below. Let me know what you think. Did I hit the mark on some of these books? Are you interested in learning more about them yourselves? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell to know when new content drops just like this. All right, until next time, peace. I'm your host, Joseph. Fiction Ink Flow. If you don't have it, you are truly missing out. What's up? We are talking about Fiction Ink Flow. What's up? If you don't have it, you are truly missing out. Fiction Ink Flow. What's up? We are talking about Fiction Ink Flow. What's up? If you don't have it, you are truly missing out. Fiction Ink Flow. What's up? We are talking about fiction equals law. What's up?